Only 6 more months until winter. I gotta fix my boots. The primary thing that's wrong with my snowboard boots is that these lace locks are very poor quality. They can be really good, but these are cheap snowboard boots, and I actually got them used. And these are actually made out of pot metal, which is just a bunch of crap scrap metal melted down, and they break off. So that broke off. All of them on that side broke off. On the other boot, all these broke off, and these are still here, but sooner or later. So anyway, what you're first going to want to do is get a bunch of these binder clips, and then you just pinch these together and take out this piece, and just get a whole bunch of them. Once you have as many binder clip handles as you have broken lace locks, then you start bending them into a complex shape like this. And I'll show you how to do that. Clamp it up in the vise about 1/2 inch below the last bend. And keep hitting it over. This vise has a little bit of a curve right here, so that's perfect, but sometimes they flare out a bit. So you gotta round it back. Then you gotta straighten out these bends. So open up the vise, clamp it down, flatten those out. Leave them a tiny bit flared out because that'll help them catch into the boot. But for the most part, flatten them out. You have them like that. Next, you bend them again about here. But first, squeeze them in a little bit more. That didn't do anything. Okay. About another 1/2 inch down, clamp them back in. And repeat the process. Now I might bend out the first one a bit more, so you gotta kind of resculpt that one so you get something that looks like that. And then repeat that process until you have all of them bent into those kind of shapes. Now you get a drill bit that's about a little bit bigger than the diameter of this these binder clip panel wire, whatever the heck it is. You get a drill bit that's a bit bigger than that, and then the rivets that hold the lace locks on, drill through them. Try not to pop them out. Just drill through the rivet so that you have a hole. Just drill a bunch of holes. And it will be sharp on this end, just file it down if you need to. It might not be a problem, but I would just file it down so you don't like cut your laces or anything, because that could happen. After you have all your holes drilled in the lace lock rivets, take your little binder clip lock things. Pinch them together, pinch the two ends together, push them through that, and they will pop out like so, with that on the inside. After you put them all through, just you're going to want to mix up some epoxy and glue the back ends down to the inside of the liner. And repeat that for the rest of them. While they're drying, or even after they're drying, put some strips of Gorilla Tape or any kind of like duct tape on top of there to secure it and to make sure that those little ends don't stab you while you're riding. Okay, it's been overnight, so glue is dried. 2-ton epoxy is dried. So now, if you're not going to do the Gorilla Tape, which I found doesn't really stick to this cloth very well, I'm just going to put hot glue over it and encase these ends and attach them to the fabric with hot glue. Oh, and I just put these pencils in between our improvised lace lock and the actual boot itself, so that the ends press up against the fabric. You don't have to do that, but it helps. Here's one. So now we're going to be relacing the boots because mine are pretty messed up. This one's just being held together with a bunch of electrical tape and it's knotted together and stuff. So I just got 50 feet of paracord and I'm just going to relace these. Each lace is about 7 feet long, which is ridiculous, but just cut the paracord to 7 feet long and then cut it off. Right about there should be good. And be sure to re-singe the ends with a lighter after you do that, or else it will just fray and come apart and stuff. Unless you want to put on some new aglets or something, you can do that. I think I'm just gonna singe the ends. So you just kind of melt these ends over with a lighter, just kind of burn them until the plastic forms like a globule in the end. These are made out of nylon, so it just melts. So now I'm just going to relace the boots. next thing I'm going to explain how to do is reduce the heel lift in your snowboard boots. Now, if you want to go out and buy some $10 J-bars and do it yourself, that's fine, but why spend money when you don't have to and just make it yourself? So, the main material that we're going to be using for this is UVA foam, more commonly known as those linking foam mats that nobody can find but really are everywhere. So what you want to do is grab a decent sized piece and get your heel, and right here, your ankle, right about here, in this divot, put it there, and kind of draw out something that would fit in that kind of divot in your ankle. Make it sort of boomerang shaped, with like a cavity out in the back. Something like that. And then cut that out. You got something like that, and then clean it up on a sander or something like that. Now you got them all finished. You pair them up with the bevel on the inside so that it hugs your ankle better. You take those J-bars that you just made and you put some adhesive back of some kind onto the part that it isn't facing, actually the part that is facing your heel. And then you put them on the inside of the boot or the outside of the liner, if you have a liner. In this case, these don't because they're extremely cheap and crappy. But you stick them right above your heel on the outside of the liner or the inside of the boot, and that will help your foot from coming out when you try to turn. So that's how to fix your snowboard boots. Leave comments for future videos in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Have a good riding year and have a good school year. Bye.